Hello everybody, Bryos here. So the PSR reset has hit us and the new formula for calculating your PSR gain or loss is in effect. As you can see here, this is the post by Paul. And I thought I'll show you some of my data and my impressions after the PSR reset. I couldn't play immediately, but I managed to get 2 hours in. Partially with my Invictus, which you see here, and this is the PSR that you will start at, right in the middle of tier 3. So after 2 hours, I had a few games and I thought I'll share with you a spreadsheet of some data I had from those matches. So let's take a look. So based on the formula given by Paul in the forums, I created a spreadsheet to show the PSR gain and loss for certain matches which I want to highlight. For example, in this particular match I was playing my Invictus and my team won. So blue team being my team, I scored 366, and on the other side they lost. And I just want to highlight a few things. So I put in a pretty okay performance above average and they gave me a positive PSR, nothing special there. But I want to highlight sodium chloride here, doing really well, 626, top of the whole bunch of players, and as a result, he actually gets the top PSR increase at 32.5. And that's because, simply put, PSR gain or loss is based on your performance relative to the team, your team rather, and relative to everybody in the match. And because sodium chloride topped his team and topped the whole match by quite a lot, over 100 points by the way, because 626 max score, second highest is 439, and that gave him a phenomenal increase. And for other people, like this guy here, Guardsman, is a nice guy. He scored 284 on a losing team, but above team average. Team average for the losing team was 208, and not too bad, still above the winning team overall. So he will get a minor increase. So in short, there he is, forgot to highlight it. So in short, you could still lose and up the PSR. And I wonder whether this is a bit too much, because honestly, I would like the increase to PSR for a winning team to be a bit lower. Exceptional performances like sodium chloride here should get a plus PSR, but honestly, yeah, shouldn't be that high. So in short, based on this match you can see here, you can actually increase PSR even on a loss if you put in an exceptional performance or even an above average performance compared to the rest of the team. And let's look at another match. In this particular match you see here, I actually lost. Yeah, my team lost. So yep, so that happened. But as you can see here, I scored 476 max score, which was pretty good. Above average for my team, above average to the overall. And both the winning team and the losing team scored similar, well, max scores on average. And as a result, I got a positive PSR, quite a nice number at 9.5. And also want to highlight the losing players. Even though red team, or rather the players who did not do well, even though they won. Like, I mean, sometimes we potato, I'm not stat shaming people, I did quite badly in a few matches, and I did drop PSR in 1 or 2 matches. Anyway, so as you can see from these 3 people especially, they got pretty low max score, in fact 5 of them, and they won, but they dropped PSR. That's because everybody did well. So even though this guy here, Captain Proton, did pretty okay, 197 is an acceptable max score, but because it's below the team average and below the overall average, he will still drop PSR. And not as bad as some people, like for example, Wolfvar here, lowest at 131 is not too bad, but lowest on the losing team, he probably dropped quite a lot. So there it is. So yep, so in short, your match performance is relative to the rest of the team and the whole group. So that's how you determine the PSR, and you can actually increase PSR on a loss. But let's go on to show you guys one of the best matches I had, and that's in my Flea, and I will summarize with the PSR calculations after the match. So let's get down to some gameplay. So here I am dropping on Mining Collective in one of my favorite mechs, the Flea 17 with 6 medium lasers and MASC. And Mining is almost the perfect map for this build and my play style. And I just want to emphasize that I do notice that post PSR in my 2 hours of streaming, I did notice a lot of people are playing Assaults and the heavy mechs, and quite a few meta builds, and of course some weird ass builds. And that's because I feel that damage is still weighted too much towards the giving max score, and even Paul admits that. So people are trying to get max score to up their PSR, but I want to show you that it still can be done if you know how to play Alike well. And in this particular match, I have a good team on Alpha Lance from 228 and a few good players. And that will actually lower my PSR increase, I feel, because they will do well, and my max score relative to the rest of the team will not be so high. But a win is more important. So let's take a look at this flea in action. Alright, Tunnel Echo 6 has a heavies and assaults. So doing some scouting here. This area tends to have mechs.
Got 4 flamers and an AC-10. Yep,
Echo 5, Jaeger.
and an AC-10.
So as you can see, Alpha Lance is talking a lot to the team, and I just always feel the group should communicate with the team, and that's what these guys are doing, which is good. So a few mechs shifting location, but with my speed I'm able to pop out and focus on this Uzil. Focus on this Uzil.
Can D4 man coming across.
Uzil left torso very open. Yeah, its left torso is almost going to pop. But this Corsair not moving. India staying still. Corsair, yeah, not moving much, so I'm going to drop a strike on him. Oh, it's not Excel. Uzil is halved. Bravo. Yeah, I managed to take the Uzil's torso. India in trouble. Yeah, the Corsair is still not moved, so this guy is probably either in trouble, or definitely in trouble, but he's not. Cool down and reposition. He's not repositioning well. He finally decides to run, and I am in pursuit. Enemy has taken the top. One Atlas appearing. He decides to engage. He decides to engage me. Okay. I'm actually using this antenna to mask him because it does block damage if he fires.
There's another one. Yeah. Corsair India scored.
Oh, the building blocked me. Yeah, could have gotten that kill, but that small building blocked me. I'm kind of short. Kilo. So they have the top BR surrounding them. Oi, work is Kilo right torso. Yeah, as you can hear, Alpha Lance is open. Alpha Lance, like I said, is communicating well, and that is always good. Oh, let's go to 702 meters then. Yeah, apparently this Jaeger has been shooting at long range. Shooting at long range with those AC-20s. But XL and I get the kill. Piranha Alpha. This mech does really good pinpoint damage. Well, not anymore. We're basically surrounding these guys here. Stay there, stay there. Hotel right torso. That's a build here. Wreck Marauder. Hotel right torso is open. But peeking, dropping a strike and taking his right torso. Can I get it? Oh, almost. There's the Uzil. He's so caught. And I get the kill. 7-4. Danka. Let's push up. 7-4. Left torso of the... I don't know what that is, but yeah. Yeah, pushing up, but there's a Cyclops here. Very dangerous. One shot will kill me. Watch out for Golf Slapner. Ooh, it's a dual heavy Golf Slapner. So Rick Hunter in his open CT. Rick Hunter, pilot of the Slapner. CT is open. I've seen him before, so it's not new.
Just up there, man.
He's caught, but I don't want to make a mistake. Now he's down there. In a flea, one dual gauss shot to you anywhere and you're pretty much dead. Echo 4. So there's some mechs here. We have a slight advantage. It's not a storm, which is nice.
Alright, we've sacrificed Kemi to the winning dogs. The rest is gonna be easy.
We must sacrifice the sinful. Hotel. So Hotel is really badly hurt. Probably standard engine. Dropping down, slicing his left torso off. Somebody's here. What a random Veagle here. Marauder's a stick. Time to dodge. There he is. Using MSC to reverse, putting the ball between me and him.
Delta's the only one left to go.
Yes, silly Veagle. Yep, I know. I'm warping everywhere. Yeah, a bit of connection issues. When I use MASC, I do warp quite a bit. Especially if I have collisions with wall or people. Now extra spicy. This is the last guy, he's pretty dead. I'm pretty fresh, so gonna push it a bit. I can afford to take some damage from his ER smalls. And I get the kill. Got him! Last shot. That is how you flee, guys. That is how you flee.
I didn't realize you could squeeze 2 ERPTCs on a Raven. Jesus Christ.
And that honestly is how you play a flea using the speed, the pinpoint damage, and 1045 damage, 5 KMDDs and 3 solo kills. An exceptional performance in one of my favorite mechs. 10 components done also. So this will more or less guarantee me top of team performance with max score and top of team in terms of damage. So if you look at this, 625 match score for me. Alpha Lance also doing well, but position of PSR depends on the performance relative to the team. So let's analyze this match using the spreadsheet. So as you could see from the performance in my Flea, firstly you notice that you can still do a lot of damage even in a lights nowadays, and that's because the general skill level of the players, because they are not match made properly, is pretty low actually. So you can still find a few lower tier players and basically lay into them, even cadets that will actually buff your max score quite a bit. So you don't really need a high damage mech, even though damage still gives you too much max score. That is an issue that needs to be fixed. So Paul, please fix that so that the lights don't suffer too much. But if you main lights like me, I actually play better in lights and fast mediums. You can still do a lot of damage, like 1000 over in a Flea, because, well, mechs are bad at shielding and positioning, because honestly they are still quite fresh to the game. So anyway, let's look at the PSR calculations for that match. So me being 625, I'm top of the whole team and the whole match, and that gives me a really nice performance gain relative to the rest of the players. But also if you look at the overall match scores, the winning team average match score is 288, which is pretty high actually. I noticed from 2 hours of streaming, the average team winning match score is about 250. So 288, that means the team did pretty well. And as you can see here, the average is pretty nice, only one double digit here, and that's pretty good actually for the team performance. And that, as a result, my position relative to the rest of the team is high, but not as high as if I carried the match totally. And to be very fair, 228 guys really did well. Look at that, 2 of them doing 400 plus match score. So this was basically a team effort match, but with me topping the whole match in terms of match score. And if you look at the PSR, that means definitely I'll get the highest PSR increase. But interestingly enough, Dead Hit on the losing team here, he scored 500 over max score, so way above his team in terms of max score, and way above the overall average because he did really well. And because of that, he gets rewarded with a very nice max score, second after me with 28.9. Even though Alpha Lance here, all the 228 guys here, Z Failboat, Stone Falcon, also Kamikaze Viking, not 228, but yeah, he's there, he did well. Hex and Brian Ferry, they also get a positive PSR. And so that means, well, in summary, as I mentioned earlier, I would like the PSR increase for the losing team to be a bit lower. I mean, I always am for the impression, or whatever you call it, for the train of thought that the losing team, if you are on a losing team and you put in an exceptional performance like Dead Hit here, you should increase PSR, but it shouldn't be so high, to be honest. And in fact, if you look at this guy here, Rick Hunter here, he did 200 plus only on a losing team, and he still gets to gain PSR by a bit. This, I'm not targeting him by the way, and this by the way, I feel should be lower. So those are my thoughts on the post PSR reset. So in short, number one, it's great fun playing, lots of fun. Everybody is, well, in tier 3, we're slowly trying to inch our way up, but PSR will depend on your performance relative to the team. And also, as I showed you in this match in my Flea, if you know how to play a light mech, you can actually do a lot of damage and get a high max score. That's because some of the lower tier players, like cadets even, are in the same match. So in the meantime, take your time. I expect games to be really random. The win-loss is totally out the window, so RNG for that. So don't expect your guys to win all the time, because you're gonna be carried up or down by the weaker players in that sense in the team. But I expect all this to settle down in about a month, or probably more likely 2 months. After that, we can really see whether it made an improvement to the game. But this is definitely better than before. So that's it guys. So I enjoy the PSR reset. It could be a bit better as I mentioned earlier, but generally 2 thumbs up for the reset and the new system of calculation. And that's it for me guys. Didn't have much time to play, but I will put in more games and see how it will go. So Bryos here signing off. I will see you guys on the battlefield. Say hi.